Hello everyone, today we're talking about Outlander episode 8, called Both Sides Now. A couple of things I want to bring up in the last episode of Outlander that we discussed. The pearl symbolism, I don't know if I got what I was trying to say across clearly, but she felt scattered at the beginning, and then by the end, on that last lovemaking scene, Jamie giving her the pearls fully intact was a way of showing Jamie being her calm and being something holding her together. Jamie did put this wedding together for both of them too, by the way. He said to Murdaugh, only planned to get married the one time, so it was for him too, the wedding. So, yes, it was really sweet what he did, but I think, I implied that I thought that he had done it all for Claire. He did it for himself too. This was for both of them. So, anyway, so that's all the notes that I had written for the previous episode. So let's get into this episode that we're covering tonight. The synopsis says, Jamie has a rendezvous with a man named Horrocks, a British deserter who may be able to prove him innocent of the charges hanging over him. He may also be riding into a trap. Now married for 2 days, Claire gets a lesson in how to use a knife to protect herself. It comes in handy when they're set upon by 2 British deserters, and she is attacked. Her happiness is shattered, and she is angry with herself for not returning to Craignadoon. Her attention is diverted when she is taken prisoner again by Blackjack Randall, meaning while Frank is increasingly frustrated by the lack of progress the police are having in locating Claire, he realizes that he may have to get on with his life. Mrs. Graham, the housekeeper, tells him about the stones. So, yeah, so this episode, it starts out with Frank at the police station, and the police officer coming in there, the police captain, I think he was, coming in there, and he was going to tell Frank that they're going to stop looking for Claire because they believe she has gone off with the guy that Frank saw out looking outside her window that night, the Highlander. And of course, I didn't talk about this in the first episode, and this is, I've noticed in various Facebook groups that I'm in and stuff, that this is like, people ask this question all the time. Who was the guy standing outside Claire's window that night in the first episode, and blah 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 and all this? It's Jamie. Diana Gabaldon has confirmed this, that it is in fact Jamie. She has not explained what he's doing there or how he is there. I'm pretty sure it's his ghost, but anyway, so I want to clear that up right now, because that is a hot topic that everybody asks, and it's getting to the point of, they ask it so much that it's like, if you can't tell by now, then I don't know what to tell you. And it's also kind of getting annoying, how many times this question is asked. I think it's even, I'm not sure, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but, being as someone who runs quite a few Outlander platforms and stuff, Facebook and stuff like that, yeah, it comes up so much. But anyways, it is Jamie. Diana Gabaldon has confirmed this, but we don't know how he's there or why he's there. We can only theorize. I'm pretty sure, because when he sends her back through the stones the first time, I haven't read. Let me put this let me put this out there. I have not read past the sixth book. I haven't even read past the fifth book. I'm at the beginning of the sixth book, so I don't know a whole lot in the future books. I don't know past A Breath of Snow and Ashes. So I don't know what happens beyond that book, or really beyond the Fiery Cross. But what I do know, and I can't remember which book it is. If y'all know, please help me out. I know that Jamie dreamt about Brianna, and he knew about her birthmark behind her ear. So, and he kisses her there. So, I think Jamie has some kind of abilities, astral projecting abilities. I'm not sure. So, but there's all kinds of theories out there regarding that ghost of Jamie outside her bedroom window, looking up at her. So, but anyway, back to this episode. Frank is in the police station, and the police chief is there, or the police captain is there, telling him that they're gonna stop looking for Claire because they believe she's gone off with this man that Frank saw outside her bedroom window. And Frank, of course, he's upset because he doesn't want them to stop looking for her. And but he goes on. He goes home after that, or not home, but goes back to the Reverend Wakefield's house after that. And it goes to the next scene of Jamie and Claire sitting and talking and having a connection. And this right here, Jamie is asking her if it's unusual to feel what they feel for each other. And of course, Claire's response is it's similar, but it is unusual. Like, she's never experienced this before. So yeah, they have a really close connection, her and Jamie. So better. I've always said this. I think Jamie was always better for Claire. Because he loves her more. And I'm not saying that Frank doesn't love Claire, but he's kind of the differences between Jamie and Frank. I feel like Frank holds Claire back. I mean, and it may just be the time, the time differences. Back in the early 40s, or mid 40s. Women weren't supposed to be strong and independent. Of course, in Jamie's time, they're not supposed to be really strong and independent either, but she may have a little bit more freedom with Jamie. He allows her to be this way. He understands her better. So, but anyway, that's, it is a little bit different. I mean, the time eras, but also, in Jamie and Claire's time, in the 1700s, women were actually owned by the men, but there was a little bit more wildness between Jamie and Claire, so they had a little bit more freedoms, I think, to be themselves. And of course, in the 20th century with Frank, it was a little bit more domesticated, and you had to set this, women had to be home, stay home, be housewives, do this, do that. So, yeah, Claire was really, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. She was trapped with Frank more than she was with Jamie. I guess she wasn't free spirit to be who she wanted to be with Frank as she was with Jamie. So that's the difference, and Jamie understands this. He gets Claire. He gets her on a different level than Frank ever did, and so I think they're soulmates. So I think that's the difference between Frank and Jamie. Because I'm not saying anything wrong with Frank. I mean, he loved Claire, and Frank's story is kind of tragic.